questions for Rob.
That's a heck of a way to win your first playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it during the week. Obviously, had to plan for penalties, but we certainly didn't want it to go that far. But I mean, some really good penalties as well. I mean, Eric came up big with the save, and then the 4 guys who scored under real pressure stepped up and delivered. So, yeah, I guess at this point it's just kind of win any way you can and need to.
Were you prepared for how intense it was going to be, how chippy, especially in the second half? They had 5 yellows.
Yeah, I think we have to obviously prepare for anything, especially in playoffs. And I think it was definitely a cagey game, and a lot of kind of loose balls and second balls. At half-time, we kind of compared it to the Indy game a few weeks back, where just not a lot of great soccer being played, but you're just going to have to keep fighting and keep trying to win as many second balls as you can. So, yeah, that's all part of it. There's going to be more of those moments next week as well, so we just have to do that.
When you get ready to come back here again for another playoff game next week, I mean, it's the first time for a while.
Yeah, that's a nice bonus for sure. So yeah, I told the guys, enjoy tonight, enjoy the victory, and then we get right back to work on Monday morning and start preparing for Detroit.
How did you decide which 5 were taking the penalties?
And which order?
So we kind of put together a short list of players, kind of with a few minutes left on the clock once it looked like it was going there. Checked with those players if they were okay taking one, which they were, and then with those 5 just kind of decided what the best order was going to be. So pretty collaborative and pretty smooth process. So that maybe helped in kind of keeping them calm throughout the shootout.
Who would have been your pick?
Beto. Yeah.
Did Danny and Marlon have any conversation before the game? Did they air out anything?
As far as I know, no.
Well, the first 30 minutes, just talk about that, how intense it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, they flew out the traps, but I think part of it as well was us, like, we looked really nervous and we were making some poor decisions and just making some really kind of, we turned a lot of balls over really cheaply. Defensively, we just looked a step late, so we're kind of sitting there on the bench kind of hoping we can get through that spell, and they were smelling blood and they were putting balls forward. So yeah, it certainly wasn't the 20, I think it was 23 minutes, we finally looked at each other like, all right, I think we're through the worst of it now, and then we settled into a little bit of a rhythm. So yeah, well listen, we're gonna have to start next week's game better than that for sure. Hopefully we got that playoff nervousness out of our system tonight, but I think after that, I mean, again, you're just kind of looking at each other on the bench, thinking like we're in control here. Like we felt as though we had more secure possession. I don't think either team really created a ton of chances, but we felt as though anything that was going to happen, we felt like we'd be on the right side of. So yeah, I mean, and then a full time, and then at the 15 minutes kind of break, you're just kind of letting the guys know, like, listen, keep doing what you're doing. We feel like we're in control. Keep control of the back as well. Just make sure we don't switch off at the back. We don't need to go so gung-ho and try and grab a winner here that we give something up going the other way. And I think we did that. So I think overall on the balance of play, I'm pretty happy after the first 23 minutes. I think that we probably did a lot of good things.
Do you think Hartford was playing for 2 days once it went to extra time?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think they're quite a transitional team anyway. So I think they're pretty comfortable kind of sitting in and trying to kind of spring to life with that long ball and try and hit you over the top. Again, they did it really well in the first 20 minutes. I mean, they got in behind, Luke obviously got his yellow card, which was a yellow card because Junior was there, but just clarifying. So yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest, I think that was their game plan. I don't think they necessarily wanted to have a ton of possession. They just wanted to try and hit us and try and catch us out. But again, I think we did a pretty good job of kind of securing that.
Rob, you split the series against your next opponent, Detroit. Is your coaching style to review some of those videos of the earlier games, or do you like to just look ahead and just look forward?
No, we'll definitely look. We'll look at some of their recent games, and then we'll look at our games from earlier in the season. Because teams will sometimes match up the same way against opponents that they face. So yeah, we'll look at probably the home game. And then we'll look at probably the last 3 or 4 games as well to see kind of how they feel like they're coming in. But kind of like I said, probably the last couple of weeks, like a lot of the focus right now is how we can break them down, not worry too much about them. And you know, we've now not scored for two straight games, so that's something we want to try and fix next week.
What did you say to the team before you can share?
Yeah, just stay calm. They knew the order, so it was like when you know it's your turn's coming up, just kind of clear your head, go through your process. But yeah, just I think that was the message all night. Honestly, it was like, you guys are prepared for this. Before the game, it was, you guys know what you need to do. Stay calm, stay in a good headspace. Going into extra time, you don't want anybody kind of getting too overexcited. So, but yeah, penalties is all just about keeping a clear head and going through your process.
How excited were you at that point when Eric made that save? I mean, that had to spark you guys as well.
Yeah, I was trying to stay calm. I think I gave a pretty solid fist bump at that point. But I know also you can celebrate too early, so I kind of stayed seated. And when Sean was stepping up, and we knew at that point we just needed to score one of our last two, so you start getting a little bit excited. So, but yeah, I'm glad the guys are excited, and yeah, hopefully we can repeat it next week.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.